So let's now talk about attention and why we need it. As we have already seen in the previous video, the transformer architecture was proposed in 2017 and we are already familiar with most of its components. However, there is this new module, the attention module, that we haven't seen before. So to understand it a bit better, let's switch back to recurrent neural networks and explain the motivation behind developing this attention mechanism. So previously we talked about the different forms of language modeling tasks, such as many-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. When we tackle translation tasks, for example translating one sentence to another language, we usually use the many-to-many architecture with recurrent neural networks. So as we discussed before, there are two different types of many-to-many approaches, the one here on the left and the other one here on the right. So if we use this first many-to-many approach shown on the left, what happens is if we go from input word to output word, we will be translating the sentence word by word. So for example, imagine this German sentence here at the bottom. Kannst du mir helfen, diesen Satz zu übersetzen? And now when we translate this to English, what happens is the output sentence will be, can you me help this sentence to translate? Which is of course not correct English. And this happens because we are translating here word by word. However, a better translation would be like this, where the output sentence is, can you help me to translate the sentence? Or in other words, we can't simply translate a sentence word by word. We have to read it first, understand it, and then create the translation. And in a similar sense, the recurrent neural network has to process the sentence first and then generate the output sentence. So we can think of the recurrent neural network here as two parts. We have the encoder part, which reads in the sentence, and then we have the decoder part, which generates the translated sentence. Yeah, and we can see the bottleneck here. So we have this one hidden state that has to memorize all the inputs before attempting the translation. So in this case, if we have a very long input sentence, a lot of information can be lost before attempting the translation. Yeah, and this is where the attention mechanism comes into play, where researchers developed an architecture that can pay attention to different words in the input for each given output word. And how this attention mechanism works that I just showed you, that will be the topic of the next video.